Hi, and welcome to the Ascension Playground. My name is Ursie, and today I have Haruko, Blue Star Child, back on the playground. We had interviewed and had Haruko join us on the playground before, but today, in celebration of spring and Easter, Haruko and I want to talk to you a little bit about bunnies. So, hi, Haruko.
Hi, thank you for inviting me back to your playground.
You are welcome. And we know you're calling in from Mount Shasta. How's the mountain doing over there before we get going?
Oh, we're having the rain finally, rain and snow in the mountain. So it's quite like winter right now, but spring is definitely here.
Wow. Well, we will just say hello to all of our inner earth beings in Mount Shasta to join us as well in this playful ascension playground. So
Yay.
hello. So Haruko, I think I'd like to start by, let's see which animal card wants to join us. And before we got together and we started talking about bunnies, I chose a specific card deck. Let me share it with everybody. Here we go. Today, in celebration of Easter, I'm using Diana Cooper's Archangel Animal Oracle card deck. Diana Cooper is an incredible ascended being who shares so much with us through her books and through her cards. So today, let me share Rabbit. Look at this beautiful image, Haruko. Rabbits come in to say, recognize your significance.
Oh,
Aw. And the rabbit is bringing Archangel Gabriel with him too. So we can be joined by Archangel Gabriel. And look what's happening. There's a beautiful star light coming from the center of the rabbit's heart. And there are these musical notes, a rainbow, and then we have Pegasus and some type of interesting balancing beam. I'm not sure what that is, but somehow this reminds me of the art that we're going to see from you today. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to read a little bit about what this card and the rabbit are doing as they join us. Rabbit, pure, warm-hearted rabbits originate from Orion, the star system. They heal hearts with wisdom as well as love. Every sentient being emits sounds that together create the song of the earth. Currently, according to Diana Cooper, Earth is discordant. However, Lady Gaia sings her true tune, and the rabbits hear this. Part of the rabbit soul mission is to relay these notes through their energy fields in order to bring everything into harmonic alignment. Their aim is to enable us all to ascend graciously. Isn't that cool?
wow, that's beautiful.
I know, thank you, bunnies.
I didn't know that the rabbit was related to Orion.
Oh, look at this card deck. May I read one more paragraph because it just keeps going.
Yes, please.
Rabbits have a huge and important soul mission. They spread purity, clarity, and joy wherever they go. And because they carry sacred geometric wisdom in their auras, the angels sing harmonics over them. Angels. As a result, through these furry little creatures, angel sonics spread over the land where they live. Archangel Sandalphon understands the music of the spheres, which is the harmonics of creation. Through the rabbits, he and Archangel Gabriel attune the song of the earth and the music of the spheres to hold in place the seventh dimensional blueprint for Earth.
Wow.
I just want to have my jaw drop.
Wow.
Bunnies!
Incredible.
Right? and talk about
Mhm.
alignment with some of the things that you're going to be sharing with us today.
Oh, totally. And I have been bringing the blueprint for the new Earth, and the rabbit was the one who guided me to do so. So this is total goosebump.
Great. Now, in case others might have missed our earlier conversation, would you just mind sharing a little bit about how the rabbit came into your life through your artwork?
Yeah, well, it's very simple. I was going to the art school, and I just was inspired to do everything with a rabbit. And that was in a graduate school. And how ridiculous that is in a way. In a grad school, why rabbits? So I was making a lot of picture about rabbits, making the shape with the Play-Dohs and things like that. And then I started to making toys with the rabbits. But each toy is kind of represented a very deep truth about the universes. And yeah, so I was sketching many toys, and actually the sketch became more of my major things that I was starting to, develop into. So yeah.
Wow. I and is the rabbit from that beginning point till today, has the rabbit journeyed with you the whole time, or has he gone in some holes and then reappeared at times?
Oh, they have been just journeying together with me. They're like a teacher, and they're like shape-shifting teacher in a way. They are angelic. They are very wise beings. They know about life, how it works in the whole universes, and they know the sacred geometries. So I have been, I'm feeling like I've been guided throughout the whole time, and which has been about 23 years.
My gosh, that's
Yeah.
it's remarkable then to be validated with some of the things that Diana Cooper was writing.
Mm-hmm.
Blueprint, harmonics, alignment, tuning, like the singing. Now, I would like to segue now to something that you do for those who'd like one. You create soul essence portraits.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And then I'd like to share mine.
Sure. So on my friend's birthday, I wanted to gift her something, and I couldn't figure out what else to gift. So, I'm just gonna draw her because I have been drawing bunnies, and the bunny decided to, shapeshift into angels and fairies and all the beings. And so I have been learning how to communicate with the being, which appears on the sketchbook. So, well, why don't I draw her, see what's gonna show up on the sketchbook? And I wish I have that sketch with me. But she turned out to be like very angelic, very, not only angelic, but I could feel her, how she is beyond the human, and doing some other, amazing things in the universes. And I'm a feeler, so I just feel it. I don't know how else to explain it, but I just saw her immense beauty and power. And so I was just inspired to do many, for many people. So I started to do for, friends, and really, really started to see how we are not just a little human, powerless human being who, just do the daily life every day. We are limitless, and we are, our aspect is doing amazing, multidimensional things in a multidimensional world. So it makes me realize how, the multidimensionality of who we truly are. And we are angel, we are fairies, we are goddess, you know, and we are all of it. And we have all the aspects of it, in this human body, which is immense and powerful and beautiful. So I like to capture that. And so, yeah.
Wow. Well, for those who are listening, just so you know, there's a difference between a portrait, a physical portrait. You and I have both studied art. And so at one point in our art journey, I'm sure we each had to do portraiture. So in
Mm,
a portraiture, we're actually drawing the physical form and hoping to get a likeness. And you're graded upon how close the likeness of your portrait is with the person sitting there. And
right.
what you are doing, Haruko, is soul essence. And that speaks of a dynamic, as you were saying, multi-dimensional aspect. Could you almost put in higher self to embody not just one aspect of ourselves, but a broader? Is that the soul essence, more the higher self?
So, what I understand is that each of us is like a spark of light.
Mm.
Everybody's just a pure spark of light. When we are, in this light form, um, there is the so when we are created, this is how I understand. When we are created as a spark of light, in each spark of light, there's a special designs in it. It's like snowflakes are, individually beautiful and so geometric, but they are all different. It's kind of like that. And so I can feel the essence of it. And, life is geometry. That's how I see it now. So I capture that geometry in this spark of light, and the specific design represents our uniqueness and our special gift, special talent, ability, capacity of, all the wisdom that we learn, in each incarnations. And so I capture that essence. And so yes, it is related to higher self. um it's the potential of who we can be, and how we are going to use this potential. The special uniqueness is up to us, and also it's up to our situation or environment or star system or planet, wherever we reside. We kind of figure out how we're gonna, bring this, special uniqueness in different expression, in different talent and gift and field of studies, for example. So yeah, so it's the core of this essence, if you understand what I mean.
You, it's, if I could, it's like this unity star behind me.
Mhm.
um, the whole of it, I would say, let's say that's my higher self. But I have other facets of myself
Mhm.
happening, perhaps even concurrently, like past lives on Earth, even in other star systems, even current or parallel. So I don't want to put people off with this kind of narrative, but it's this idea of the wholeness of who you are. Be ready to open up to, like, you are more magnificent than you can even imagine here in our linear 3D, because there's more. And I do think it speaks of geometry, like you said, and a soul blueprint. And recently, Pam Gregory, she's an incredible astrologer, was on YouTube with a cosmic collaboration discussion with someone channeling Zechariah. And
Mhm.
this entity that relates to Dwal Kul was saying the same thing, that our natal chart in 3D actually is embedded in our heart chakra. And that is how we speak to the universe and the cosmos, through geometry of the natal chart and through frequency and vibration. And I think that dovetails so nicely to what you're sharing about your soul essence portraits.
Mhm. Nicely said. Yes.
Well, and if anyone's listening and are interested in learning more, Haruko has can be reached at bluestarchild.com to learn more. She's got some beautiful narrative on what is a soul essence portrait. And in fact, I brought mine along to share with you. Let's see, here it comes. Yay, here is my soul essence portrait. Haruko, you recently did this for me. Let me see if I can get it a little more in focus there. Hopefully that's better. Now, Haruko, how do you start a soul essence portrait? Because you and I are relatively new friends to one another, but some people are going to contact you that you've never met before. How do you begin?
I tune into the photo, the face photo, and eyes, and the first birth name. That's what I like to feel into. It's kind of like entry point. And after that, my process is just be spaced out and allow the feeling to come through and just feel the line. That's it's hard to explain, but the first part you see the face kind of looking, yellow circle with the eyes, and that's not sleeping eyes, that's actually smiling eyes.
Okay.
And I just put the face just so that it's a the portrait in a way, but I didn't want to make too much of the face, but somehow represent the light. The circle is kind of like the light and has the little individuality in a way with the eyes. And so I just feel what I feel and keep drawing, and that's been how I've been doing for 22 years. So it's really hard to explain, but the feelings come through and becomes the line. And she's very angelic. Of course, she's goddess as well. She is so connected to lots of love. She has this arrow on the both side with the heart, and she kind of like stimulate people, reach out and stimulate people to share the love, the possibility of beauty of life. And I mean, she's a really good heart tickler in a way, I think. That's how I see the first thing that I felt from her is like heart tickler, like love tickler, tickle, tickle, and here's the beautiful thing, you want to see, there's this beautiful life you want to feel, this beautiful thing that you want to laugh with me, enjoy life with me, kind of, it has a little bit of fairy quality too, um, and then but she has very strong foundation. She knows the divinity. She knows how do I say, she hmm, she knows how how the divinity works, how love works, what is the truth in the universes. um, and she, as she is doing this now in her own cosmic playground, she welcoming people to feel this truth about love and universal truth. I said that already. It's hard to explain for me with the words, and but it's just she brings lots of color in people's life. She inspire. She spring out her beauty from within, and her voice, there's this under the face, this rainbow, she has this beautiful expression emanate from her. And I mean, there's so many ways that you can interpret this, yeah, soul portrait essence. And yeah, but she's just beautiful, fairy, angel, goddess, and divine wisdom holder and creator being.
Wow, so deep as far as when you're talking about a blueprint for a soul essence. And I was tuning in with you. And so the activation of, let's say, our clairsentience, it's a knowing through feeling. I can't, it's not coming from the mind. It's just the body affirming things through chills. Or I'm just looking at this. I just almost am like almost tearful, because you captured something that my mind doesn't fully understand, and could easily, if I didn't know you, just go, oh, that was nice, and tuck it away. But I've been living with this beautiful portrait, and it actually has inspired me to go deeper and to have the clarity. So many people are looking for, okay, here's the dashboard, but where to focus. And so a soul essence portrait for me, coming from you, Haruko, it's probably going to speak to me for years to come. Now, if you're open, I do have a few questions about some of the symbols.
Sure.
The beautiful moons, the double moon at top, and then there's a moon almost at her sacral. And what do you attune that like the crescent moon? Is that goddess image?
Yeah, crescent moon is used in many goddess, you know, depiction, description, and I feel that's part of it. It's it's I can't really the words is not coming through, but yeah, definitely the symbol of the goddess. And I don't know the history of it. I need to look into it, but that it just happens.
Yeah, it's a symbol that will probably reveal itself, and I'll just allow the meanings to come to me either through people or books. But when I ask the question, then it's like, okay, I feel like the universe hears that and then will send me the right people or the answer. And then
Right.
at top, though, this is the most interesting piece. These eyelashes, which reminded me right away of Nepal. I don't know
Okay.
why. I thought, oh, the Tibetan eyelashes, but
Oh,
I,
wow.
I don't know, or it could be feathers.
Well, this is the interesting part because everybody see and interpret and understand in different way, or I haven't seen that as an eyelash at all, so that's really refreshing for me.
Like
And
in Nepal when they have the
yes, yes, yes. So
yeah.
you can see like, different faces, other than the center with the round face, you can see other face because we are part of, you know, mm, we are gods within God within God. So in that sense, you can see smiley face if you look a little more in distance. You can see
Yeah.
eyelashes, very peaceful for me, and for me that is mm, yeah, connected to the nature goddess, I guess. When I see that with a green line with little, it's almost like a leaf for me, or like willow leaves in a way. Very feminine wisdom
It's so
symbol.
beautiful. I even counted like the little stars. And so looking at it from a numerological perspective too, I was like, okay, is there something that's talking to me through the numbers? Like how many stars, or even look at the recurring diamond that are sitting on that kind of seesaw balanced. And remember, we saw that with the rabbit too, this idea of, excuse me while I put this, see this kind of a seesaw kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
But
it's a feminine masculine balance as well, you know?
well, for those who are interested in talking with Haruko about doing your soul essence portrait, the things you ask for people to send is a picture of your face with mostly your eyes open, no glasses, right? So no sunglasses, but
Right.
you want to see
Yeah.
the energy coming from the eyes. Can you explain why you need to see that?
I don't know. Eyes speak so much. It's like, if when you look into somebody's eyes, it's like looking into another universe, isn't it?
It is. The Egyptians said like the eyes are the windows to the soul.
Right.
They made it
Mm-hmm.
soul essence portrait. That is interesting.
Yeah, and and then if anybody wants to talk more, I offer the private session, and the private session is more like applying the divine wisdom into more like everyday life. So looking into this drawing and, feel the expansion or curiosity of who we really are, but then how are we going to apply to this everyday life, Who are we? And, how we're gonna discover and explore ourselves in this everyday life, because yes, we are angels and fairies and goddess and all of that, but how are we gonna express that, or how can we be just be, we don't really need to express like art or musician, or but just to really recognize who we really are, and how can we be, and then from that beingness, what do we really really want in this simple everyday life, in this human body. So yeah, that's another level of how we're gonna apply this beautiful design that we brought in, essence that we brought in, on the earth. And
Yeah, and the portrait will reveal itself over time, is what I think. As we each evolve, we're going to start seeing or getting downloads as we, as our consciousness grows too. But there's something else that you do. You offer on the back of each of the portraits, right? You offer
yeah,
a little bit. I put the date up there, February 2022. I just loved all the twos coming together. But this helped me, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to read it. Um, you said my name, Ursula, angel and ambassador of stars. With her love arrows, she pokes people to open up their minds and hearts. And she tickles to stimulate and activate and brings out the best of others. She creates Rainbow Bridge to connect information and people, the network of the new earth. And then you sign it, Haruko Blue Star Child. I love it. And so the thing is, in our 3D life, my job, my profession and career is painter, right? But when you do a soul essence portrait, you help me get clarity about it's not what I do, because I do a lot of things. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a painter, I'm a friend. But this helped me go, whoa, I love Ambassador of Stars. I'm talking about galactic stuff all the time if people get to know me. And that this idea of stimulating others and inspiring, that made me feel like, yes, when it's my turn to pass over, let's say on my deathbed, I'm going to be reviewing my life and going, whoa, it's not, did I make enough paintings? Or, are my kids doing well? I'm going to sit well with, have I helped inspire and leave the world in a better place? And that helped me tune into myself. Like, why am I doing this? Why an Ascension playground? I could be doing other things with my time, but this little gift that you gave me, because I had started the playground and you were one of the first guests. So it just made me go, okay, thank you, Haruko. This brief outline and the image that you gave, um, I'm allowing it to just take its time to work its magic through me. And here I'll stop sharing so we can have our little face-to-face chat.
yeah. And also, you're doing what your heart feels joy, and that's when we shine the most, right? But also, we shine the light whatever we do in this mundane human life too. And so to recognize that mundane life that we live, this everyday life, how precious it is, how our light is shining, even though we may not feel like we are doing this sole responsibility, um, so to recognize that part is so important. And then also, really listen to what we really want to do. That's another level of bringing the light. And so you are doing that in this playground. And we are multiply, we are capable of doing so many things, and also recognize the beauty in everything we do. That's another job that we're bringing the light into every human, life in this on the earth.
I have to stop myself at times to go, okay, am I having fun yet? Because if it's not joyful at this stage of my life, I have to say, well, why are you doing that then? Because even though my society here in America, it's, go make it happen. That's um, old paradigm. New paradigm in Aquarius age of light. Oh, I just saw something go, is allowing myself to just be and only move towards those things and those people, those environments that feel joyful or beneficial, instead of beating myself up to say, because I would do the pretzel a lot growing up, like, oh, how can I contort myself to make the other person feel good? That's not my job. And then now that, because you've given me this guidance at this stage of my life, I can say permission to play, permission to just, I don't know, enjoy it. I love learning and I love sharing what I'm learning. And I like meeting people who also have this joy, but you don't have to do anything. I think
Mhm.
perhaps some of the soul portraits you may have done might just be people anchoring light, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. You can just be.
Mhm.
You're working in your dream time, so giving ourselves a break and just saying, oh, we're here. We're here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and recently, from talking with some people, from the private sessions, it's like we were such a doer, do. Even in a spiritual, community, you have to make this, classes, uh, level number one, level number two, all the things we have to do this, and it's another corporate world in the spiritual community in a way, and it's really time to just be, and whoever has been doing, we have to just sort of stop. you know it's kind of like we are going into this like a wrong direction in a way, not wrong, but it's an unnatural direction, and then we have to stop, and that was like these past few years, we had to kind of stop with whatever the situation we had, and then sort of we're going into this natural flow, which is much more easier. That's how the water flows, that's how the wind flows, and how how the like natural impulse from the heart excuse me, natural impulse from the heart, just how to listen, and then flow with it. And I think that's the, you know, feels like this spring 2022 is sort of like flowing, starting the flow of that, many people are starting to feel the flow of natural life, you know, and right now it's spring.
I love
And yeah, and hopefully the bunny energy is going to inspire more to be playful, loving, and expand into different possibilities of the way of life.
love that. And for those listening, March 20th, 2022 is the date for the Northern Hemisphere to begin spring. So springtime, Easter, the bunny, um, egg hunting, renewal, and spring, the hope for
Fertility.
the new year.
Yeah, and fertility, the abundance.
You found the goddess, right? That was named after Easter.
Right, yes. Her name is called Eos. I can't really pronounce it, but Eostre. goddess of spring, fertility, and renewal by the pagan tradition.
Good.
So,
Wow. So sometimes the waves come in and then they go out. So if you've been in expansion, maybe this is the year you begin contraction. So it's these rhythms of life. I know that I'm in a season of my life now where I'm expanding, but inside I'm also contracting. So this idea of connecting ourselves with Mother Nature to look at the rhythms,
mhm.
look at the bunnies. And speaking of bunnies, would you like to share some of your beautiful artwork with us so we can see the story of Bunny and how Bunny has guided you over these decades? I, I, I just think it's funny because the rabbit is so easily overlooked. It's, oh, food, it's prey, it populates a lot. But what you just brought forward is a different energetic with Bunny.
Yeah, that is true. Even in a Native American, animal book that we read, bunny represent fear sometimes. Timid, fearful animal. And actually, yeah, from my perspective, it is not. And I've seen bunny fighting with a snake and stuff too. you know. Well, anyway, here is. Let's see.
Right. I think if everyone was trying to eat me, I'd be afraid too, you know?
Okay, share. Here you go.
Okay.
So I'm sharing this image of bunnies because this bunny was the the big stepping point for me to really be able to feel the message from my drawing, and she or he is so content and peaceful, and for me I felt a lot of Buddha energy, and um, very balanced, very flowy, and very cosmic in a way. In the center of the circle, there's the cosmic, energetic generator in a way. And, it's hard to put it in the words, but I felt very strongly through this drawing. And so I wanted to share this one first. What do you think? Do you feel anything, Ursula?
Yeah, I feel like cosmic, but also grounded to earth and biology, that atomic structure.
Mm.
Oh, and then the angelic flapping of wings of sorts. And then the spheres reminds me of the music of the spheres with a very Buddhic nature and almost egg-like shape around.
Hey, it is egg.
I know, the bunny's in the egg instead of hiding the eggs. But nice to meet you, Bunny. So you did this picture or drawing 22 years ago around, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. It still feels fresh today, you know, like there's certain rhythms. And that's what it feels like too. There's a rhythm. And would you say that this energy perhaps is what is with you when you're to say, you know, this bunny has traveled with me? Would you in your
Oh, this is aspect of them. They appear in so many ways, but this one really captured my attention. Like, wow,
okay.
this, he has this presence. I can really feel it.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And so from there, I do so many things. I draw so many different styles, but I'm showing the drawings of beings today. So this one, oh, let's see. This one is
Ooh,
the angel.
ooh.
So you can see a little bit of development in design, but there's always, kind of like ears on the top. But you can also see the angelic wings on the both sides. And so, they kind of shape shift for me to experience different, you know, level of beings. And, back then I was not even believing angels. but when I draw, I can feel them. So this is how I explored, different dimensional beings through drawings. Not necessarily I was believing in them, but I could feel them.
That's a nice balance between um, symbolic, um, like approachable, like playful, I guess is the word, but also a blueprint or some kind of glyph. Um, so it reads on a lot of different levels and easy to bypass, right? Because
Yeah,
not a lot of fanfare. These are just really lines, um,
right.
almost like you captured some kind of resonant frequency.
Yes, yes, definitely so. And so, when I draw, I really tap into this, unconscious world and allow that, information to come through. So, like you said, we can't really understand everything with our brain, but this is something that we feel, and these frequencies somehow affect in a deeper soul level. So I'll show you one more. Yeah.
Ooh.
This one, I think I call it Archangel Ariel. Ariel is a archangel of watching over Mother Earth,
Mm.
closely working with the nature kingdom.
Feel the water, and I sense the clouds in the sky, and there's love, the heart area.
Yeah, and the flower and
Flower, yeah.
cosmo.
Right away, I first thought, oh, mermaid, that was
Yeah,
the first
definitely.
essence. Yeah, just
And Disney had a
Ariel.
mermaid Ariel, so definitely they were channeling something, you know.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, when I see your three pieces, the words light language come up for me.
Mm,
And some people think, oh, light language, you have to say it, or speak it. But light can be communicated through visual, like there's a visual light language. And so I'm just adding that to our conversation because one of the things I think I'm here to do is to start creating and talking about this new visual light language that
mhm,
looks like art, but it's really light language. And so
mhm.
it'll speak to you when you're ready or your vibration, like um, we can't take a kindergartner to college. We have to wait till there's a progression or evolution. But people's evolution is just skyrocketing so quickly now. So
Right.
stunning.
Yeah.
Love your work. Now was that a recent one, Ariel, or was that?
No, those are old ones
Oh,
too.
wow.
Yeah.
So if people want to see your recent work, right, it's still going to your website, bluestarchild.com. Is that correct?
Hmm. Yes, and actually I have another website called bluestarchildgallery.com, but both are in a different style representing my artwork, and so you can look at them, either one. And also there's a, YouTube or video on the website as well as on the YouTube channel. I am sharing, new artwork and explaining or singing, the sound transmission through my voice and the flute. And so you can enjoy not only through visual, but from the sound as well. So,
Well, I'm hoping that when you're ready, you have an open invitation to come back to the playground and share your beautiful singing and flute with your art because something happens. There's this almost like these vibrations start so that the work on the wall with your voice and the flute, it just takes us with Mount Shasta's blessing. You really do go into the cosmos. I'm
yeah.
sure. So be ready, like belt up, get your seatbelts buckled. I would say one other thing about the star connection. There is a constellation, I want to say it's called Lepus, Lepus, with one of the major stars being Nihal, Nihal. And so there is a constellation of the rabbit, the hare.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to just add that to the playground. As I work with Julia Balaz and her Starseeds astrology, I'll find out more about the bunny constellation. I'll come back and maybe we can track your natal chart too to see if you've had many lifetimes with the bunny. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, it's a fascinating journey of all things possible as we
Right.
work with our hearts and our imaginations instead of worrying about, oh, is this outside of my dogma or doctrine, or is it orthodox or not? We're living in a beautiful time where, the box is open. Do you want
Yeah.
to play?
Yeah. And we just need to allow to, open our treasure box, and they're all within us. So let's keep finding it and let's keep playing. And thank you so much for inviting me to your cosmic playground.
You are welcome. And if people want to get a soul essence portrait, check out Haruko on bluestarchild.com. Till next time, see you again. Bye-bye.